Good morning. Today on Spotlight, the plan to create an economy that works for everyone. What does the future workforce look like for our city and nation, and will it be equitable? Local and national forces have teamed up to tackle that question and provide more details. Our guests, Michael Shaw, Chair, and Layla Hallel, Director of the Detroit Area Workforce Funders Collaborative. Michael Shaw is also Vice President of Programs for the Hudson Weber Foundation. It's Sunday, March the 23rd. I'm Chuck Stokes, and this is Spotlight. The Detroit Area Workforce Funders Collaborative.
That's right.
A mouthful. What is that, Layla Hallel?
Yeah, well, thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure.
So the Workforce Funders Collaborative is a group of private and corporate funders that work together to align resources and influence for a racially equitable and just workforce system in Detroit.
Okay. How long has it been in Detroit?
So the group came together around COVID and the murder of George Floyd to ask some hard questions about persistent economic wealth gaps, the role of workforce development and jobs to reduce that gap and promote more equities in the labor market. They worked together to map the landscape of the land market in Detroit area. And then one of the big milestones was a joint publication with PolicyLink, a National Research Institute, sort of detailing the data, the comprehensive data set to pinpoint racial inequities in the labor market and workforce development system in the area. This report was commissioned by JP Chase.
Okay.
And the data serves as a useful sort of guiding framework for us in understanding what many people already know. But we also worked with a group of 30 advisors, policymakers, employers, community-based providers, organizers, advocates, to review the findings and develop a blueprint for action to work towards closing racial equity gaps.
Very good. That's a great explanation. Okay. Yeah. I understand it much better now, so I appreciate that. Sure. Michael Shaw, you wear two hats. You're chair of the Detroit Area Workforce Funders Collaborative, but you're also the vice president of programs at the Hudson Weber Foundation, which we all know well. It has a big footprint here and has been around and has helped to fund so many different worthy organizations. Explain your role in all of this and why you feel this is so needed for this particular region.
So the foundation is deeply focused on the economic vibrancy of Detroiters in Detroit. And it's really hard to think about that without thinking about employment. Employment makes, and workers make a local economy go around. So in our participation in the contribution to furthering the comeback of Detroit, thinking about work and workforce is paramount to that.
We're the most segregated city by wealth. True or false? Or is that one of those old statistics that may not still be applicable?
Let's say it's true.
Okay.
We are one of the blackest cities in America. Memphis is giving us a run for our money on any given day, and that's something that should be definitely celebrated. We're also one of the poorest cities in America. We have a 34% poverty rate. We have an unemployment rate close to 9.4%. Relative to the region, which is closer to 5%, that's concerning. And you can see racial disparities baked within that. And we have a workforce participation rate gap too. Those are the people who are active in the workforce itself. Detroit's around 64%, the region's around 75%. So it means the folks that are participating in our workforce aren't participating to their full extent for a variety of reasons and barriers. And we know that we have a highly racially segregated city already based on demographics. So sure, we are one of the most racially segregated economic cities in the nation.
Yeah. Layla Hallel, when this most recent report was done, what jumped out to you in it? What made you, when you're sitting at your desk and looking at all of this data, to say, whoa?
Well, there's
or great. Either way.
well, following up on that, the issue of segregation, there's significant occupational segregation between workers of color and white workers. For instance, black and brown workers are concentrated in social sector jobs, particularly in healthcare. The other thing that jumped out to me is that even where you have equal attainment, educational attainment between white and black workers, there's still income disparities. So to me and to us, I think that encourages us to do what we do, which is to center workers and promote employer accountability by bringing together employers and workers, because we know that employer culture and mindset is part of the problem here when we see statistics which show that equally situated people of different race are not receiving the same income.
Okay, very good. All right, hang on one second. I need to get to a quick little break here. We'll come right back and we'll explore what maybe some of the solutions are and how we get to where we really want to be 5, 10, 15 years from now. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Michael, let me start with you. Long term, where do we want to go with this? What's the end solution if it all works out the way you want?
Thriving Detroiters and thriving neighborhoods, right? And how do we get there is we need to address two sides of the income and the poverty gap, which is working on affordability. And we talk a lot about affordable housing, the cost of car insurance, and the other varying costs that are imposed on Detroiters. We also have to think about how do we raise their revenue? How do we raise their pay? And how do we think about getting folks out of poverty through an economic mobility ladder, through better quality jobs and career pathways?
How do we do that? I mean, you can't just snap your fingers and make it happen. Is this a public-private partnership with corporations, but also with local governments?
Absolutely. So there's a triad, right? There's your employers, there's your workers, and then there's the system that supports them, which includes your government, your community colleges, your schools, your private and nonprofit providers who are working on it, and there needs to be a coordinated effort. I also think one of the most interesting things that happened through COVID was a paradigm inversion. I'm sure you've had conversations about work and employment in Detroit many times on your show. Mm-hmm. And what's really changed is historically we've never had enough jobs for the people that we have. And right now we almost have an abundance of jobs, just they're not tied to the abundance of people who need them. And so matchmaking the right jobs with the right people and creating the opportunities for folks to get skilled up into those jobs and connect them to those jobs is what's really important.
I see. Ms. Hillel, there is the Detroit workforce, but then there's also a national link to this as well. Matter of fact, they put out a press release not terribly long ago welcoming Detroit to the national collaborative on all this. Talk about this partnership and what's unique about it.
Sure. So this is the National Fund for Workforce Solutions, which is a national network of funder collaboratives like us and intermediaries that are working to solve workforce development challenges, employer talent challenges, workers' desire for quality jobs, and the supports they need to actually make jobs worthwhile for their families and themselves. And this group includes people from Baltimore, Chicago, red states, blue states, the in-between. And they bring us all together to share what solutions people are working on in different places. The National Fund is supporting Detroit in employer engagement on workforce development challenges, specifically employee retention challenges. Mm-hmm. And we're working
keeping good workers once you get them.
Exactly. We are working with Trinity Hospital as a frontline pilot project to work with healthcare industry, where a lot of workers of colors are concentrated and where there are the most jobs available in Detroit, to think about how you can involve workers to solve for retention challenges. So it's not natural for employers to involve workers, and sometimes it's not natural for workers to speak up and say, and feel safe to say, this is what I need. And so we're working, drawing on the resources and expertise of the National Fund to do this sort of huddle here in Detroit to think about private public partnerships to bring in workers to solve talent gaps. Also thinking about the role of funders and philanthropy in supporting these public and private partnerships.
Okay.
So it's an experiment that we hope to be able to come back and tell you about what we found.
And I promise you, we will get you back to be able to do that. All right, we need to take another quick little pause for the cause. We will come right back, and I want one of you to explain to me the term system change and how that relates to all this. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Okay, I keep reading in all the material about this, the word system change. What is that?
It's a collection of efforts that try to move something, right? So how does a collection of efforts try to improve an opportunity for an individual, but also how does it collectively try to move an area or an issue for the whole, right? So we care about Mrs. Jones on the east side, but we care about all the Mrs. Jones across the city and across the region. How do we think about the public interface, the private interface, the individual interface to move and advance change? And in this case, increase employment, increase wages, increase quality of life.
And do you feel as though this is a bipartisan issue in what appears to be a very partisan time?
Absolutely. Work and employment and economic growth, especially in Detroit, is paramount for everybody in this moment. The employers are clamoring for high quality talent and access to them, and residents are clamoring for economic opportunity and pathways that give them some alleviation from some of the challenges that they've been having.
Who are some of the supporters in all of this, the big organizations that may be behind you?
Right, so we mentioned JP Morgan Chase, which is help us driven, our data-based work and evidence-based work. Wilson Foundation is also part of this collaborative, and along with Ballmer Group, they've been investing in Detroit Drives Degrees to work with community colleges to increase the attainment of bachelor degrees and credentials, which open up more career pathways and quality jobs for any worker or learner. And as part of that, they're also trying to close the racial equity gap on access to attainment opportunity. Skillman Foundation is part of our collaborative, which is very much sort of an intersectional collaborative of funders that work on different aspects of mitigating barriers to full community and worker engagement. And Skillman is focused on education. Youth are estimated to be 40% of the workforce in the region going forward. And so, their effort on education is going to benefit the labor market overall. We also have McGregor Fund, which is invested a lot in housing justice. So, we as a collaborative are also working collectively for certain goals related to the policy link and our blueprint for action, but then also individually, institutional funders are digging deep in their respective mandates to work on mitigating barriers to quality jobs and supporting communities in their overall development.
Sure. Michael Shaw, as you look at this, What do you see as the biggest challenge for the workforce organization, and what do you see as perhaps your biggest asset in this?
The biggest challenge is looking long term, thinking about Detroit and say 2050, because one of the biggest hurdles is the immediacy of employers, right, and state shareholders to get up and get returns really quickly, and on 4-year political cycles. That results in really quick short-term solutions when we need really long-term systems change. Back to your point earlier, our biggest abundance, our biggest opportunity are Detroiters, are folks, right? And the opportunity to bring more of them into higher wage, higher opportunity, higher purpose jobs because they're wonderful. And they've built this city on their backs, and there needs to be more opportunities for them to continue to thrive through the employment system.
Okay, we need to take one quick final break. We'll come back, do a quick final segment, and wrap it all up. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Question to either one of you. Do we have too many manufacturing jobs in Detroit and Michigan for an area that has built its wealth and its reputation on manufacturing?
Yeah, I can
Go for it.
start off with some thoughts on this.
Okay. Because we always like to say, manufacturing is our bread and butter,
That's
engineers, all of these things because we started from the car industry.
Well, right. But we also have to think about the notion that there are very large manufacturers, like the car industry, but then there are also small and medium-sized manufacturers. And what the studies have shown is that in the small, medium-sized businesses, including in manufacturing, there's opportunity to really advance racial equity goals and worker-centered approaches to jobs and success. So manufacturing as a whole is not something we should overlook. At the same time, we know from youth in Detroit, from others that we've been talking to, looking through the National Fund Network at places like Memphis, that investment in social enterprise, social capital, for like Black-owned businesses and other businesses where people can do entrepreneurial work, in addition to supporting quality jobs in the workplace, such as in manufacturing or in other sectors, is a great combination to build out wealth equitably and for the benefit of all.
Yeah, and I'll play off that a little bit.
Okay.
I don't think it's ever a bad thing to have a high volume of any type of job. The fear and the concern on that is the overconcentration and the risk that comes with that. And we feel that.
You gotta have the balance.
Yeah, and we feel it from time to time when the autos aren't doing well, Detroit's not doing well, right? We have a lot of analogies and phrases around how we talk about that. And so how do we think about diversification and adaptation? So advanced manufacturing, which looks a little differently, right? It's smaller factories, it's smaller warehouses, it's smaller products, and how do we adapt the skills for employees to qualify for that? And then it's adjacent industries. We talk about mobility. Mobility is an adjacency to manufacturing. Climate change and those climate industries, those are all going to be adjacencies to what we thought of as historically being manufacturing jobs. And then the other industry that we don't talk enough about as a huge cluster is small business as an entirety, right?
Which people commonly say is the backbone to America.
Something like 51% of Detroiters are employed by small business. We have to think of that as a cluster. We have to empower it as a cluster, and we have to grow it as a cluster.
Yeah. Do we have too many, or do we not have enough, probably is a better question, of the middle wage jobs?
We don't have enough. We don't have enough middle wage jobs, and we don't have enough people skilled up enough to step into the middle wage jobs that we have. So those are, we've seen a hollowing of middle everything, right? So if you're paying close attention to national news or local news, you're gonna hear middle a lot more. Middle income, middle wage, middle out is going to be a phrase, but the middle wage jobs, those middle income jobs, require a bachelor's degree, usually, or a high skilled technical credit or a licensure. And that will take more intentional qualifications and pathways for employees. And we need more of those. We need to build out.
And is that where we're going to have to work even harder with our colleges and universities
Absolutely.
to get us to that level?
We need maximum intentionality, right? We have to do this middle out thing with our people, our residents and our employees, with the skill providers and the trade providers, and with the employers themselves. And the employers are really struggling to find the talent to do this because their urgency, back to that urgency of now of the private sector, is they want those folks now. And if we can't prepare them now, we have a challenge. We have a market failure.
And Layla, I'll give you the last word on this. Does this collaborative work for or against what has become a controversial word now, and that's DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion?
Well, we are focused on Detroit, and Detroit's majority population is Black. Proudly, still. And the region's, population is there's a large percentage of Black workers, and so and then the data and the research that we've mined shows that Black workers are facing the steepest barriers and experiencing the greatest inequalities, which is costing the region $28 billion annually in lost GDP. The Kellogg Foundation has estimated that if we look out to 2050, resolving these inequities will enable a 90 billion plus gain for the region. And so, yes, we care, we value racial equity, but we also understand how that fits into the larger picture of benefiting all.
Right, and the numbers indeed paint a picture.
Yes.
Layla Halal, thank you so much for coming in. Michael Shaw, thank you for coming in as
Thank
well,
you.
wearing both of your hats. We
Yeah.
appreciate it. And we want to thank you for joining us. I'm Chuck Stokes. We'll be back next week with more newsmakers in the spotlight. We hope you have a great week.